Hey, so look, greatness, I believe that greatness leaves clues. So I'm about showing humility. I'm about not getting complacent because the greatest of all the greatest that you can think of when it comes to anything can be replaced. And I'm not discrediting any of the greatest, any of the greats that we look up to. But no matter what records you've broken, no matter what records you've set, you're setting the trajectory for somebody to study you so they can also be great too.
Ain't nothing wrong with you, just remember you're special. Feeling hopeless and alone, just remember there's always God there to be there to help you. Put in effort, make mistakes, no one on this earth is perfect. Trial and tribulations both in life are guaranteed, but in the end it's all worth it. I'm hoping and I'm praying this is something relatable and the words are beneficial when someone out there can understand what I'm saying. Mind, muscle, motivation. Let's stop playing. Share it with the nation.
Why, hello. What it do though? It is mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Hey, look, stay with me to the end, my friend. Let us begin. I do my best not to become complacent. I do my best to show humility. I do my best to continue to work hard because from what I've studied from the greatest of all the greats that I grew up watching, whether it's Michael Jackson, Lord have mercy, whether it's Michael Jackson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, the actors, Denzel, Beyonce, the list can go on and on. Look, I would never say that what they do won't ever be done again. Because yes, it may take some time, but this is what I believe. When you're somebody that's great of that type of magnitude, someone out there, you're letting it be exposed that it's possible. So someone out there is going to gain that type of success from the exposure that these greats have left behind. I believe that no matter what you do, look, I'm not taking nothing away from Michael Jackson. He's my favorite artist of all time, always has been, always will be. But you can go on the internet and you can see people who dance just like him all over the internet. Now, am I saying that they are Michael Jackson? No, because he left that type of dancing behind for them to study, for them to copy. So he set that stone for them. He exposed it for us. So what I'm saying is that no matter what you do, I'm telling you, no matter what you do, you're setting the pathway to let others know that it can be done. I'm not taking nothing away, and I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm not saying to, just to go through life half-assing it. Be your best. Be your best, do your best, and every single day try to be better than what you were before. Because this is all encouragement for me. This is not discouragement. It's all about up here. It's all about how you listen. It's all about how you take it in. Because me telling myself that I can be replaced, it keeps me on my toes every single day, whether it's at my job, whether it's with my son, with relationships, even with my parents. It keeps me on my toes because it lets me know that there's nothing that I'm doing that's so outlandish, that's so extraterrestrial, out of this world. There's nothing that I do that sets me apart in that type of way. But I will say this, again, y'all stay with me. Just listen to me real quick. I need to be reminded that I can be replaced because psychologically, I've always stood out. And I only say psychologically because I've stood out having to do with my race. Yes, people who live in big cities and in countries where there's more people of our color, yes, it still exists. but I've always stood out because of my color. And because of my color, I've always thought eyes were on me. And when I'm around more people of my color, I'm able to kind of blend in. And I'm not saying that's what I want. I'm not saying that's what I've tried to do. But I'm saying that when you think you're different up here is going to start to mess with you because you're going to think that everything is about you. And it's not. For a long time, I've always thought eyes were on me. And I know that sounds like a narcissist, but again, I've always stood out. So psychologically, in my mind, I know that I'm different, but I'm not different. And there's nothing about me that's so much different from anybody else. Whether it's physical attributes, whether it's my race and ethnicity, all these things, I now know that other people, look, there's other people that look like me. When I was young, I didn't think that so much, obviously, because, I'm young. And like I said, I always stood out because of, my race. And even with my physicality, I stood out with that for a very long time. And again, psychologically, I felt some type of entitlement. These things were just going through my head, and I hope you understand what I'm saying. But you have to be exposed to more. You have to be humble, and a lot of times, being around people like you, being around people that are greater than you, will do just that. So it's just like the people that I just named. Think about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant studied Michael Jordan so much, and if you watch Kobe Bryant, I think he, well, obviously, he had more athletic capability, but his game was almost a copyright of Michael Jordan. If you really watch them both, and everybody will say that Kobe Bryant just took it to another level, and then of course with his mentality, he took what he studied and took it to another level. So that's why I say that the greatest of all greats, they're just leaving the pathway because there's a runner-up right now that's watching Michael Jackson and his videos and his movements. There's people that studying Denzel and how he acts and how he really gets into character. There's a little girl right now that's so inspired by Beyonce. They're singing her every song. They're dancing like her. And look, what's great about that, what's even more great and motivational about these things is that, I said greatness leaves clues. Look, I also believe that after a while, when you just watch somebody who's great, you don't realize how great they are, not when you're young. So you too are becoming great just by watching them, just by doing what they do. So when you do what they do and you watch them, for a long period of time, and then you add on your hard work, hey, it's only a matter of time before you become great too. And I think that's what's wrong with this day and age is that we're exposed to greatness, right? But I think we as people, I always, I like to always include myself, but I just think that we're becoming lazy because we get so much instant gratification. Success can become in a higher rate than what it was before. So the people that I named before, they just had a different level of hunger. And in this day and age, the hunger has decreased just because of the simple fact that we don't have to starve as much. And I don't mean that literally. I just mean about the work ethic and what a person is really willing to put the blood, sweat, and tears from and in. I just believe that it decreased just because the athletic capability has grown. And of course, you got the internet and you can get success in a higher rate than what it was before. So the blood, sweat, and tears is still there, but it's nothing like what it was before. But we just got to show more humility. We got to stay on our toes, and we can never become complacent because, again, records, they may last for 50 plus years, but it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before they're broken because, again, people who have such accolades, they're exposing it to somebody to let it be known that it can be done. To give that little boy, that little girl, that teenager, or even myself, people that are great in whatever they do, the simple fact that you're able to see it, if you have the right mentality, you can know that it can be done. So you too can put in that work and also be great too. So look, I really hope that there's somebody who's watching this that's been at the top for a very long time, because that entitlement, it has to go away. And you may not know it, but you might have been on your toes before, and you might your foot may be slowly going down to where you're on your heel, and you're now just pacing through each and every single day. Look, your significant other, you might have stopped doing what you did in the beginning because you have them and you're comfortable. That's why I said never get complacent, whether it's in a relationship, at a job, your career, sports, school, whatever it is, to never get complacent. To always know that, again, I'm not trying to be negative and I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but what your grade is, what you think your grade is, may be somebody else's warm-up. I tell myself all the time, and I'm not about comparing yourself, but there's days when, I'm working out real hard, and there's other days where I'm just like, golly, the other day I was just blowing past this. You're not always your great every single day. You can always be greater. Nobody cares how much you're hurting. Nobody cares how much blood, sweat, and tears you may have poured out, literally. Because again, there's somebody out there that's willing to do the same, if not more. So you gotta always know you can be replaced. It's not to scare you. It's not to discourage you. It's to motivate you. It's to push you. And it's to always rate yourself from the day you were before, from the week you had before at work, or the previous week you had with your spouse or with your child. You always have to rate yourself from the day you were before. I will never say to rate yourself with somebody else, because that's when you're going to get discouraged. Because some people, they're just blessed with more than you. They're in a greater position than you, and you may have to, work a little harder, and that's just life. Life isn't fair, and you shouldn't ask for it to be fair. But the summary of this video is just to stay on your toes, people. Do what you did in the beginning so there won't be an end. To stay consistent, to keep working, to keep pushing, and to always know there's somebody out there that's willing to do what you're willing to do, if not more. So to always keep working hard, and to not just go through the motions every single day, to be the wave and leave the motion for other people to try to surf in. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be you that wins. That didn't make sense, but hey, it's mind, muscle, spirit, motivation. Like, share, subscribe, listen. Let's continue to get better together forever. Until next time, y'all. Hey, we out. Peace.